So our next topic is the run performance value in points and implications for the ranking position. How does this work? We have already explained in our previous episodes that judging is a tool to rank skateboarders fairly. But now many people ask, how does the point evaluation work? What is the relation? What is the ratio for the final ranking? So can we talk a little bit more about that?
Yeah, I think there's a bit of a misconception, when we do field questions from people, why is it a 75 and not a 76 or 86 or et cetera. And the way to quickly explain it is that the point system is our tools in order to rank the athletes correctly, right? So it's not a thing where we don't assign certain tricks certain point values. We don't. I mean, that park especially is that way because of the way the runs are set up and everything. But yeah, I mean, if there's someone in second place and they have, let's just say, an 89 or something, and someone is very, very close and they get an 88.6, that 88.6 represents how we get them seated. Not it's not a numerical thing as much as the ranking. It doesn't matter what score it is. That the score is based on the scale, and the scale is set in the beginning of the day. So you set your scale, and then you seat people in by using the numbers that we have.
Okay. So how to put it? So people should not, and we explained it in the previous episode, there is no assigned points. You said it yourself, Kyle, and there is no prescribed point evaluations for performances in skateboarding. It changes. So the common question, how come that this round was a month ago 75 and now it's only 70? Does have to do with this, what you just described, but it might also be related to the evolution and progression of skateboarding, no? Because nothing stays the same. It moves forward and it develops.
Exactly.
So something that has been really exceptional some time ago becomes a standard with time. And there are new things appearing, and basically getting stuck with the prescribed score would prevent skateboarding from evolving and ranking the people in the right way, because the scale doesn't change. It always has 0 to 100 points, right? There will be no space for it.
Right. And the winner doesn't always get a 100. There's not, not a perfect score. So that's the top of the scale, So, you might have a day or a heat in the day where everyone bails in the heat. And that makes it hard for us judges, because it's actually harder for us to judge not so good skateboarding if a clear winner, it's easy. He gets the highest point, but it's seating those people in between each other, and that's where the experience of just knowing skateboarding for as long as we have, and how many contests we've judged previously, how to position people.
Okay.
And that's where the decimals come in really handy as well, because we need to make sure we've got that spacing. So when you're judging, not just giving like an 85, but giving decimals and ones you haven't used before is really going to help you, like you're saying, space out those skaters and get them in the right order, but not end up with doubling up of scores or being stuck with nowhere to put, a skater who was not as good as this guy, better than this one, and you've got nothing to play with. So that takes practice as well.
Yeah, consistency of the scale is the important factor. But if the consistency is a couple points difference from a contest from today, from 2 years ago, that doesn't really make a difference. If you're way off, if first place is 95 and second is a 72, that means either everyone skated terribly below that, or your scale is off.
Exactly.
That was the kind of question I wanted to ask you, because let's imagine I'm an athlete skating at the event, right? I do my run and I think something, then I see the point evaluation. The point evaluation should kind of reflect not the prescribed value or assigned points, but the level of skating that I do, right? So it kind of matches the ranking. So when I look at the score of the guy who won, like you said, and got 90, it represents certain way of skating that day in that moment at the event, not set in stone, but for the ranking. And when I get my 70, I know when I look at those two scores, how I skated comparing to the winner. Is that correct?
Yeah.
That's the kind of way how to look at it.
Yeah, I think so. I think that the scale moves up and down for a number of reasons, you know, but as long as you get the right people placed within that scale, that's what you're looking for. A really good judge can go in the first heat in the beginning of the day and set the scale correctly. You know, that's how it starts with those first few runs. That there's a lot of emphasis, the most emphasis of the day, other than who wins, on setting the scale in the beginning of the day in order to give yourself space and room and to put these people you know, in the right spaces over the time.
That makes sense, and it also brings me back to what we discussed already, that the parks change. Therefore, you know, the performance change. The no tricks in skateboarding are identical. They are not clones.
Right.
No one is able to do the same
Right.
trick identical.
Exactly.
And
Where you execute it, how you execute it,
and basically that
at what
brings
speed, in what part of your run.
that provides the answer that why the scores cannot be assigned firmly to performance, because they are not the same by the logic of it
Well,
and
that's
by the
the
nature of skateboarding.
yeah, that's the beauty of skateboarding. That's why we all love it so much.
Yeah.
You know, even
Well,
just
I think
assigning numbers in the beginning is, you know, just off the jump. That's hard to do.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I think because there's so many aspects that make up, you know, skateboarding and a good run. Whereas if you look at other sports, you know, you look at, I'm just using swimming and diving and stuff as an example, that there's not too much that you're judging on. It's like, you know, look at swimming. It's like how far can you get down the pool? Full stop. You know, with skating, there's all these different things. You know, you're looking at the skill level, the complexity, what angle they hit it at, how fast are they going. You know, we all know when we judge amateur comps, we get some of these young little ones that are going quite slow through the park, and you know they might do like a little kickflip in the bottom of the transition. So we're looking at, there's lack of amplitude there. There's technicality with the flip, but then the speed, they're going, you know, snail's pace. So there's all these, so many different aspects that we're judging to try and put one score to all of that and say that it's the same for every time someone does that one trick in no matter where it is, in a park or a comp, is just would not work. So it's really important, like you're saying, is you can do the same trick in a million different spots with different speeds, different amplitudes, and different style, and it's going to be scored differently. So it's important that people understand it's not fixed.
All right, so we just explained why judging is a tool to rank skateboarders fairly and how it works. So please, viewers, take a lesson from that and try to do the right thing when you're judging. All right, guys, this was great, and it brings us to the next topic of our episode.